अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी राग ते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। Sorry for the delay. I was logged into another group and then I realized that I've done a mistake. So again, I joined this group and so it's already 5 minutes late we are. Anyways, we will begin with chapter number 8, Real and Conventional Perspectives. Soumya, I'll make you a co-host.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. So real and conventional perspectives. Now, what do you mean by perspectives? Right? Perspective means point of view. In other words, you can also say frame of reference. You can also say you are talking from which angle. So angle is again a word for perspectives. So in the path of liberation, we have two kinds of perspectives. One is real perspective, which is called nischay, and another one is conventional perspective or conventional point of view, and it is called vyavhar. Okay, so you must have heard these words nischay and vyavhar. So nischay means the reality, the real one, and the vyavhar means not the real one, but it is being said from certain perspective, and it is called conventional perspective. So this chapter particularly is adapted from Moksha Marg Prakashak, and we have already studied about the Pandit Todarmal ji in Vitrag Vigyan Part 2, Chapter 4, 4 expositions, Char Anuyog. Okay. So I'm not repeating the introduction of Pandit Todarmal ji. He would be famous for Moksha Marg Prakashak. Okay. The book he has written, although it is incomplete, but the kind of teachings that he has given in that book is very, very valuable. It leads us to way how to read other scriptures. So he had got very good intellect, and he has tried to put it in real perspectives, all these concepts in his book Moksha Marg Prakashak. Although the book is incomplete, but for us it is complete because it has given us it has shown us a way how to read the scriptures and how to interpret the meanings. And this real and conventional perspectives is a part of the 7th chapter, and no other acharyas or have given such a good knowledge account of these perspectives. Okay. So real and conventional perspective is adapted from the 7th chapter of Moksha Marg Prakashak. Okay. So now we will read the chapter. There are 4 definitions of real and conventional perspectives, 4 different kinds of definitions, and we will be learning about these 4 definitions in this whole chapter, and also the relationship between the real and conventional point of view. These 2 are the main topics of this chapter, and then we will read further through the help of a chart that I already shared with you in the group. So that will be the latter part, but first we complete this chapter. And then, of course, we have to move to the 9th chapter, the virtues of 10 religion, okay, or the characteristics of 10 religion. So that will be 9th chapter. Okay, so let's first complete the 8th one. This is a conversation between Gumani Ram and Pandit Todarmalji. Gumani Ramji was the son of Pandit Todarmalji, and so the conversation is in that format only. Okay, so now what is uh, real perspective and what is conventional perspective? I'll just explain you in short. Real means the actual, the factual, okay, actual and the fact, okay, or factual. That is the real perspective. To say that the pot is made of mud is real perspective, and to say that the water is this is a uh, this is a pot of water, okay, that is a conventional perspective. Why it is called pot of water? Because water is kept in that pot, so we say that water pot of water, okay, pani ka ghada. So actually the ghada is of matti, but we call it as pani. So just that is the conventional perspective. So real perspective always depicts the true picture, and conventional perspective always is through imposed exposition. It is not the real one, but it is being said from certain perspective, certain angle, certain point of view to make you understand the real perspective. Okay. So in a way, conventional perspective takes us to the real perspective, and then real perspective takes over and makes us understand the actual nature of the object or product, whatever it is. So these both perspectives are useful in the path of liberation. Without the conventional perspective, we cannot understand the real perspective. And without understanding the real perspective, we cannot practice science of discrimination or discriminative knowledge, Bhed Vigyan. So it is very important that we understand both the perspective and apply in our day-to-day life both the perspectives and be happy. Okay. So both perspectives are important from the point of view of path of liberation, and we will understand both very clearly. So this is a conversation between Gumani Ram and Pandit Todarmalji, and first we will cover up two definitions, and then in the next phase we will do the next two definition, and of course then the conclusion. So Shubhangi ji, you read from the beginning.
Real and conventional perspectives. Father, you told me yesterday that the three gems are the path to liberation from the worldly miseries. Are there not two paths to liberation, that is real and conventional? Pandit Todarmalji. No, son, there are not two paths to liberation. The description of the path is of two kinds. The real unconventional path is the real path to liberation, and that which is not a path to liberation, and yet being an accompaniment or indifferently instrumental to it is the conventional path. Real and conventional perspectives are described as such everywhere. True description is real and imposed exposition is conventional. Samesar says conventional perspective is unreal because it does not expound the true nature of things. Real perspective is truthful because it exposes the nature of things in correct manner. Gumani Ram. I have been thinking that experience of the pure soul like that of the Siddhas is real perspective, and indulgence in rules of good conduct and abstinence are the conventional ones. Pandit Todarmalji. This is not correct because the name of someone, a substance, and its feeling is not real and that of others is not conventional perspective. To express the intrinsic spirit of a subject, uh,
Of a substance.
of a substance as that only is a real perspective, and to impose the modification of other substances on the same is conventional description. Example: to refer to an earthen pot as made of clay is real perspective, while to refer to it as sugar pot is conventional. Gumanira. The experience of pure soul has been treated as the real, and observance of rules of good conduct and abstinence as conventional perspectives in some ways are. Pandit Todramalji. The experience of pure soul is real, an unconventional path of liberation, and so it has been called as such. Rules of conduct, abstinence, and penance, etc., are not a path to liberation. They have been treated as such a path from the viewpoint of indifferent accompaniments, and so they are called conventional perspective. Exposition of the path of liberation from real perspective should form the basis of our faith, and the same from conventional point of view should be treated as untrue and worth not having any faith therein. Gumanira.
Stop. So
Yes.
we have covered the two definitions. The first one, true description is real and imposed exposition is conventional. This is the first definition. And after one paragraph, Pandit Todarmalji says, to express the intrinsic spirit of a substance as that only is real perspective, and to impose the modification of other substance on the same is conventional description. To refer to an earthen pot as made of clay is real perspective, while to refer to it as sugar pot is conventional. So, this is the second one. Okay, two definitions. Now, 1 minute. I'll just check the third one. Okay. So, first of all, this real and conventional perspective forms a part of our Srut Gyan. So, we have Mati Gyan first, sensory knowledge, and then we have scriptural knowledge. So, these both perspectives are part of our right scriptural knowledge. Okay. That means a person who is enlightened, a person who is having the right faith and belief will only have this perspective in the correct manner. Okay. So because it's a part of right scriptural knowledge. So this scriptural knowledge or the knowledge is the comprehensive knowledge. So when you look at things from an overall perspective, it is called comprehensive knowledge. Now you are looking at a gold chain. So you are not looking at the shape, you are looking at the quality, you are looking at the substance, you are looking at the modification. So this overall view is called comprehensive knowledge. Now, from this comprehensive knowledge, if you are focusing on one of the perspective, like how is this gold chain from the perspective of a substance, then we can say that this is made of gold, this is that much, purity is so much, the color is yellow, and these are all the qualities that we see in that substance. Okay, so this is from the substance point of view. Now from the attributes point of view or the quality point of view, the same gold chain, we will look at its qualities, like it's in yellow in color, it is of so much weight, you know. So these are the qualities of that gold. It is shining, you know, these are the qualities. And then if we look at the same chain from the modification point of view, it is the chain. It is not a ring, it is not any other bracelet or something like that, but it's a chain. So that is the from the modification point of view. So same thing, you can look at substance point of view, you can look at it from the quality point of view or the attributes point of view, and you can also look at the modification point of view. So when a person goes to a jeweler along with his wife and to buy a gold jewelry, so the shopkeeper's interest is what is the weightage that you are choosing, right? The wife chooses the shape, she wants this shape and that, and the husband looks at the value. So same thing, but three people looking at it from different perspective. The shopkeeper feels that more the weight, more the profit. The husband sees that if I take it of more weight, then I have to shell out more money. The wife sees it from a perspective of the shape, how it will look when I wear it, how the people will appreciate. So these are the things going in the mind of those three people because they are looking at three different perspectives. Okay. So we can look at any object from any perspectives, whether it is a substance perspective or it is a quality perspective or it is from the perspective of a modification. Okay. And accordingly, we see the thing. So from the comprehensive knowledge, we apply perspective knowledge. Okay. So perspective is a part of scriptural knowledge, and it highlights the one particular aspect of the whole thing. Okay. So that is called perspective or point of view. If you are looking at substance point of view, the interpretation would be different. If you are looking from a attributes point of view, the interpretation would be different. So it depends from what point of view you are looking at the object. Now, if we collect the whole perspectives, okay, whether it is substance, whether it is attributes, or whether it is modification, we get the actual picture of the whole substance. Okay. So there are two ways to look at the whole substance. One is from the comprehensive point of view, wherein which is called the praman gyan, okay, proven knowledge. And from that proven knowledge, we highlight one particular perspective, and that is called the point of view. Okay. So this is the basic fundamental that we discussed. Now, in order to know the correct nature of the thing, we have to apply one perspective at a time, because all the perspective cannot be applied at the same time. At one point of time, we have one perspective to look at. So we will see from the substance point of view, then we can see the same object from the attributes point of view, and then we can see the same object from the conventional point of view. Thing is same, it is a gold chain, but the perspective keeps on changing, and in this way you have a very clear understanding of the object when you look at all the perspective put together. Okay. So this is how we come to know about the object. Even the seven fundamentals, okay, even the seven fundamentals that we study, that also can be looked at from the real perspective and from the conventional perspective. Okay. So everywhere you can apply this, and you will see that you will have a very better understanding or correct understanding of the object when you look at it from the both the perspective. If you look at it one perspective, then you will have a biased picture. Okay. You will not have a correct picture. But if you look at it from both the perspectives, then you will have a correct picture. So now what is real perspective and what is conventional perspective? So the true description is real and imposed exposition is conventional. That means the depiction of reality, the object, the substance, is the real point of view. And imposed exposition means upcharit nirupan. Okay. So that upcharit nirupan or depiction through some analogy. Okay. Analogy is the similarity or the comparison or an example. Okay. So you are looking at the same thing from some analogy. This is the conventional point of view. So conventional point of view is the imposed exposition or depiction through some analogy. So why you cannot look at the things from the true depiction of reality? Because it's very hard to understand from the real perspective. So in Jinwani, at places, we see that conventional perspective is very dominant, very predominant. 99% of Jinwani's statement are from conventional point of view. From the real point of view, very little is being said, because to make you understand the real point of view, the acharyas have no other option but to use the conventional point of view. Okay. We will come to this discussion later on. So our first definition is complete, that true description or the true depiction of the reality is the real point of view or real perspective. And the imposed exposition or depiction through some analogy is the conventional point of view or conventional perspective. The first definition, I'm giving you a few examples. When we say the same example, we can take the earthen pot filled with water, and we calls it as a pot of water. Okay. But in actual, it is a pot of mud. Okay. So to say that pot as of the mud is the real point of view, and to call it as a pot of water is the conventional point of view. So the real point of view is the absolute truth, and the conventional point of view is not the absolute truth. Okay. So this is the basic difference. When we say a plastic bottle, then it is from the real point of view. But when we say that this is a bottle of water, then it is called a conventional point of view. When we say that the path of liberation constitutes austerities, penance, and woes, it is statement from a conventional point of view. And to say that pure passionlessness, pure detachment is the path of liberation, then it is the real point of view. So I hope that first definition is clear. Moving on to the second definition. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so how can you apply the seven fundamentals to this? That is also got psychic. So,
Yeah, we had this differentiation between a psychic and the material point of view. Okay. So the psychic point of view is the real point of view, and the material point of view is the conventional point of view. Okay. So everywhere we can apply this conventional point of view and the real point of view. Okay. We will see other examples as we cover up other definitions also, because all definitions will come with examples, and this is not given in our textbook, so you can write it down for better understanding, or you can just catch up on this recording later on. Now the question, next definition is coming up. Before that, Gumaniram has a doubt. I have been thinking that experience of the pure soul, like that of the Siddhas, is real perspective, and indulgence in rules of good conduct and abstinence are the conventional one. Okay. So that is the thinking of Gumani Ram. Now what Pandit Todamuji has to say, this is not correct, because the name of some one substance and its feeling is not real, and that of others is not conventional perspective. So these perspectives, real and conventional, are applied in either the knowledge or in the way of presentation. Okay. So either it is in Gyan that is knowledge, or it is in Kathan Paddhati, the way of presenting, okay, way of expressing, okay. So perspectives never applies to a particular product, but to call that product, we can use both the perspective. Like example, again, we come back to the same example, that the water bottle, okay. So to call it as a water bottle is a conventional point of view. And to say the same bottle is made of plastic is the real point of view. So you see the perspectives applies only when we want to express something, or when we want to present something, then only the perspectives apply. But that particular product is not a perspective, okay? That product is product. To call it as a plastic bottle is the real point of view. To call it as a water bottle is a conventional point of view, okay? So you must remember this. Now we are coming on to the second definition. To express the intrinsic spirit of a substance. Now I'll just read the Hindi part to point out to you the mistake. एक ही द्रव्य के भाव को उस स्वरूप में ही वर्णन करना निश्चय नहीं है. एक ही द्रव्य के भाव. So here bhav means attributes or quality. But here in English translation, they have shown it as the modification. So bhav is sometimes modification, sometimes it is attribute, okay? But here it is attribute, it is being used as an attribute, but the translator has considered it as modification. So you just correct it here, to express the intrinsic spirit of a substance as that only, okay? एक ही द्रव्य के भाव को उस स्वरूप में ही वर्णन करना निश्चय नहीं है. So that is the intrinsic spirit, so it would be intrinsic quality or the attributes. Attribute, okay? Intrinsic attribute of a substance. To express the intrinsic attribute of a substance as that only is real perspective, and to impose the modification of other substance. So again, we will not write here modification. To impose the attribute of other substance on the same is conventional description. उपचार से उस द्रव्य के भाव को अन्य द्रव्य के भाव स्वरूप वर्णन करना व्यवहार है. So here bhav means attributes, and that correction we have to do here to get the correct meaning, okay?
Excuse me,
Example,
sir.
yeah,
Which para is it?
it is the page number 39, last paragraph.
Yeah.
Here
Last.
it is, on the screen only. Like to
Yeah,
express the intrinsic spirit. So instead of spirit, you write here attribute. Okay?
Yes.
And again, where it is written as modification, you change it to attribute. Okay? So one attribute of a substance being said as attribute of another substance is a conventional point of view. Now I'll give you one example. First, the definition, I'm just clearing the definition. To express the attribute of one substance as its own is the real point of view. When we know water as water only, it is the real point of view. Now, the second part, to express the attribute of one substance as that of another using some kind of analogy is known as conventional point of view. Saying that the drinking water or cleaning water, etc., is the conventional point of view. Now, water is water. Whether you call it as drinking water or cleaning water or bathing water, what difference does it make? Water is always a water. But to call it as a drinking water or a cleaning water is the conventional point of view. When you say that I am tall, I am intelligent, I am fat, we are imposing the attribute of the body on the soul. Who is fat? The soul is fat or the body is fat? Body is fat. And you are
Body.
saying, I am fat. I am thin, right? So this is the imposing the attribute of the body on the soul. I am the soul. So how can I be the body, right? So I am a fat body. I am a tall. I am intelligent. These are the imposing the attributes or the quality of the body on the soul. Such a statement comes from the conventional point of view. The real point of view denies the attributes of tall, fair, intelligent in the soul, which is a non-corporeal substance. Okay. So this is the examples of the second definitions. Okay. So to call it the as the material is the real point of view. To express the attributes of one substance as its own is real point of view. So now we discussed in the first definition, we discussed the true description and the imposed exposition. In the second definition, we highlighted the quality of a substance, and to call it as its own is real point of view, and to express the quality of one substance as that of another is the conventional point of view. Now coming on to the third definition, okay, and the fourth one, both together we will see it's coming up. So again, you have to read from here. So shall we preserve the belief slightly below? Yes. So shall we? Yeah. So we had covered up to here. So again, we will just see the description here, the last two paragraphs. The experience of pure soul is real and unconventional path of liberation. And so it has been called as such. Rules of conduct, abstinence, and penance are not a path of liberation. So from the real point of view, okay, what is the path of liberation? The experience, the self-experience, okay? The experience of pure soul is real. It is from the real point of view, the path of liberation. And to call it as a conventional point of view is the rules of conduct, abstinence, and patience. These are not path of liberation, but they have been treated as such from the viewpoint of conventional point of view, from the viewpoint of indifferent accompaniments. And so they are called conventional perspective. So you see, the conventional perspective is not the real thing. Okay, it's not the factual thing. But considering the associations, we call the rules of conduct, abstinence, penance, austerities as the path of liberation. So calling it as a path of liberation is conventional point of view, and calling the self-realization or the experience of the self is the real point of view in case of path of liberation. So path of liberation is expressed from two viewpoints. First the real one, and the second one is the conventional. Exposition of the path of liberation from real perspective should form the basis of our faith. Okay. So this is you need to believe because this is the real one. So real one you always have to believe. Okay. And the same from conventional point of view should be treated as untrue and worth not having any faith therein. Okay. So conventional point of view is just it's just an addition of the description of the real point of view, but it is not the true point of view, and it should be treated as untrue and worth not having any faith in that. Okay, so you should not have faith on that.
So, but
Yeah.
why should it be considered untrue? It is just an extension of the real definition, no?
It is just an extension in the sense that it is going to take you up to the real point of view. Okay. So since it is difficult to understand the real point of view directly, okay, So that's why the acharyas have the conventional method to explain you the object from the real point of view. Okay, so it is not true, because if you believe it as it is, the conventional point of view, then it will be not correct. As I said, I said water bottle. Okay, so if you believe that the bottle is made up of water, then it will not be true. That's why it is called conventional point of view. So conventional point of view is not the true one. Okay, it is not the absolute truth, but the real point of view that the bottle is made of plastic is the absolute truth. Okay, so this way acharyas have no other option to describe it. So a question will come. Let's go through this third and fourth definition. Then a question is given here in the textbook only. And with that question, this doubt will also be clear. Okay, so two definitions are clear. Anybody having any problem with that? In the first definition, it was only the description. In the second one, we referred to the quality or the attribute of the substance. Now, in the third definition, we will be considering the modification. Okay, so things will be the same as the second one, but in the second one, we had highlighted the quality. In the third one, we will be highlighting the modification. Okay, so starting from Gumani Ram. Okay, Madhuji, you read. So shall we preserve?
Just a minute, sir. Modification. So the third paragraph is the modification according to you, sir.
Gumani Ram, from Gumani Ram. So shall we preserve the belief?
Yes, yes. Okay. Gumani Ram. So shall we preserve the belief of the real perspective for our liberation and accept the conventional for our activities in this world? Pandit Todarmalji. No, my son. Real and conventional expositions should be treated as they intrinsically are. Perspectives have no place in activities. Activities are the behavior of the substance. To regard the activity of a substance as its own is the real perspective, and to regard the same as of others is called conventional perspective. So, our faith should be that the exposition of the real perspective is truthful, while that of conventional perspective, being an imposed one, is untrue. Gumaniram, why did you say that we should stick to the faith of real perspective and leave that of unreal perspective? Pandit Todarmalji, conventional perspective describes substances mixing the self and its activities and causes with the non-self and its behavior. To regard it as real is wrong faith, and as such, it is to be abandoned. The real perspective exposes the elements as they intrinsically are and does not mix them with one another. To have faith in such exposition is a right faith, which is desirable. Gumanira. Then, why do Jain scriptures propound the acceptance of both these perspectives? Pandit Todarmalji. The acceptance of both the perspectives means that we should treat the exposition of the real perspective as truth is like that, and where conventional point of view is predominant, to regard it as not intrinsically true, but that the exposition is imposed or due to some sort of connection with other indifferently instrumental objects. Gumaniram, if you regard conventional exposition as undesirable, people will discard rules of good conduct, abstinence, etc. I'm just repeating it once again for my sake. Gumaniram, if you regard conventional exposition as undesirable, people will discard rules of good conduct, abstinence, etc. Pandit Todamalji, the naming of observances, rules of conduct, and abstinence, etc., are not conventional perspective, but treating them as path to liberation is such. We should stop to treat them as a path to liberation. If you leave good conduct and other merits, you will indulge in violence and other vices, and that would be more harmful. It is, therefore, not correct to stop following rules of conduct, abstinence, etc., while it is also not correct to treat them as leading to liberation of the soul. Guvaniram. If it is like this, why do scriptures accept the conventional perspective at all? Pandit Todarmalji. A barbarian cannot be explained. A barbarian cannot be explained things except in his own language. Likewise, spiritualism cannot be expounded without taking recourse to conventional exposition. Therefore, scriptures therefore scriptures include conventional expositions as such. We may have to take recourse to the language of the barbarian to explain our ideas to him, but it is not desirable to become barbarians ourselves. Likewise, conventional perspective, being an expounder of spiritualism, has a place in scriptures, but it is not to be followed or accepted as true. Gumanira, how does conventional perspective expound the real aspect? Pandit Todarmalji. We cannot see with our eyes the length and breadth of the Ganges, the that rises in the that rises in the Himalayas and falls in the Bay of Bengal. To know its length, breadth, and curves of flow, we have to take help of a map. The Ganges of the map is not the real Ganges. We can know details of the Ganges, but cannot quench our thirst with the help of the map. We shall have to go to the bank of the real Ganges to quench our thirst. Exposition from conventional point of view is like the Ganges of the map. We can understand the elements, but cannot have experience of the soul with its help. For knowing and experiencing the intrinsic soul, we have to take recourse to the subject of the real perspective, that is, our pure soul. Thus, conventional perspective is desirable only for purposes of knowing the different attributes of our soul.
Good. So you
Yes.
see the third definition. Okay. So shall we preserve the belief of the real perspective for our liberation and accept the conventional for our activities in this world? Okay. Now, if you see the definition, third one is coming up here. No, my son, real and conventional expositions should be treated as they intrinsically are. Okay. As they really are. Perspectives have no place in activities. Now, this activities means the modification. Okay. So I'll read the Hindi one so you will understand it better. And here the third definition starts to regard the activity of a substance. So here it is written activity, but actually it is the modification. I'll just read the Hindi one, you will understand. नहीं बेटा, निश्चय का निश्चय रूप और व्यवहार का व्यवहार रूप श्रद्धान रखना चाहिए. So real point of view, you accept it as real point of view, understand it as real point of view, and the conventional point of view, you understand it as conventional point of view. और प्रवृत्ति is activity, that is correct. और प्रवृत्ति में तो नई का प्रयोजन ही नहीं है. When we talk of any object or any activity, then there is no need of any point of view. Okay. प्रवृत्ति तो द्रव्य की परिणति है. Okay, the activity is the substance modification. Substances modification. जिस द्रव्य की परिणति हो, परिणति here means modification. Okay, तो जिस द्रव्य की परिणति हो उसको उसी की कहने वाला निश्चय नहीं है. So that means to express the modification of a substance, modification. Okay, the second one we use the word attributes. Now here the word is modification. To express the modification of a substance as its own is the real point of view. And to express the modification of a substance as of another substance is conventional point of view. Now I think the third one is clear. So the third definition starts from here, to regard the activity of a substance. Okay. To regard the modification of a substance as its own is the real perspective, and to regard the same as of others is called conventional perspective. So our faith should be that the exposition of the real perspective is truthful, while that of the conventional perspective, being an imposed one, is untrue. Okay. So third definition, to express the modification of a substance as its own is real point of view, and to express the modification of a substance as of another substance is conventional point of view. Okay, this is the third definition. Example, to say that it is a cotton shirt is the real point of view. Shirt made of cotton, you are calling it as a cotton shirt, so it is a real point of view. And when we say that this is of a particular brand, this is a Zara shirt, this is a blue shirt, okay, and this is my birthday shirt, okay, somebody gifted me that shirt on my birthday, so I call it as a birthday shirt. So all these are conventional point of view. Okay. When we say that soul suffered misery in hell, okay, it is a conventional statement, because the hellish miseries were modification of the hellish body. Okay. Soul was not, the soul has not become the misery. Okay. Soul suffered misery in hell just because the hellish miseries were modifications of the hellish body, and the soul was only a knower of the same, which is the real aspect. Okay. Yeah. So I hope now the third definition is clear. Between the second and the third definition, the difference is of the attributes and the modification. In the second one, we have mentioned the modification as of the substance. To call it of its own is the real point of view. And here in the third one, to express the modification of a substance as its own is the real point of view. So difference is in the word of quality and modification. Okay. Conventional always mixes up, that is no problem, because that is the way the conventional point of view is like that. Like you say that this is a water bottle. So this is a mixing of the water and the plastic bottle, and you call it as a water bottle. Okay. Same like that. Now the fourth definition, okay, is the next paragraph only. Conventional perspective describes substances mixing the self and its activities. Okay. So it is mixing the self, that is the substance, and its activities, you can call it as its attributes or modification. So conventional perspective mixes the substance and its quality, mixes the substance and its modification, and also mixes the causes with the effect. Cause and effect. There is a cause and effect relationship, and the conventional point of view says that it is the same. Okay. So conventional perspective does three things. One is it mixes the self with the non-self substance. Okay. Like example, I say I am a human being. Okay. So when I say I am a human being, that means it's a combination of two. One part is soul and the other part is the human body. And I am saying that I am human body. That means I have mixed up soul and the human body, and I call it myself as human. Okay. So this is the example of mixture of self and the non-self substance. First one. Okay. The second one, we mix up the qualities. Okay. Like I am fair. I am fair looking. Okay. Now, who is fair looking? The body is fair looking or the soul is fair looking? Okay. Tell me, who is fair looking? Body is fair looking or the soul is fair looking?
Body.
Yeah. Soul doesn't have color.
Body.
Soul is not a matter substance. so it does not have color. Okay, so in Hindi it is written व्यवहार नहीं स्वद्रव्य परद्रव्य को, that is we already understood the first one, वह उनके भावों को, so भावों को means the quality or the attributes. Okay, उनके भावों को, and the third one is कारण कार्य आदि को, किसी को किसी में मिलाकर. So mixture of self and non-self substance, first part. Mixture of the quality of one substance with another substance is the second part, and the mixture of the causes with the effect is the third part. Okay, so for the second part, I am fair. Okay, this is the example of the second part. The third part example would be I am talking. Okay, so here I am the soul, and the talking, the activity of the talking is the part of a matter substance. Okay, but the body only talks when the soul is there. So soul is the cause and the talking is the effect. Okay, so we are mixing up the causes and the effect, karan or karya. Okay, so this is the third example, I am talking. So when I say I am talking, the soul is not talking, the body is talking, but I say I am talking, that means you have mixed up the cause and the effect. So this is the third. So three definitions coming up in the fourth one. Okay, again I'll read from the textbook. Conventional perspective describes substances mixing the self and its activities and causes with the non-self and its behavior. To regard it as real is wrong faith, and as such it is to be abandoned. Okay, so if you mix up two things, then it is a wrong faith, and as such it is to be abandoned, or it is to be renunciated. Okay, now the real perspective. What does the real perspective do? The real perspective exposes the elements as they are, as they intrinsically are, and does not mix them with one another. Okay, to have faith in such exposition is the right faith which is desirable. Okay, so now I'll read the definition again from a different perspective. Okay, fourth definition. Conventional point of view establishes a cause and effect relationship between two substances. Okay, depicts qualities as of one as of the other, whereas the real point of view only shows the intrinsic qualities of a substance and does not mix up with other substance. Okay, so I think now it is more clear. To depict a soul as a pure soul is the real point of view. To refer to a soul as a human, as a subhuman, as a heaven being, as a hellish being is the example of a conventional point of view. When the body is talking or when the body is walking, we call it as soul is walking. That is the conventional point of view. It is not the real point of view. The soul is suffering because of karmas. Now this statement is from which point of view?
Real.
Conventional.
Conventional, because karma is the matter particle and I am the soul. So how can karma cause me sufferings? You know, it is a conventional statement, but we in conventional statement, that's why I said कि 99% of statements in Jinagam is all conventional point of view. आपको क्यों दर्द हो रहा है? You say because of my past karmas. Okay, so this is a conventional statement. We explain it this way also, but it is not the real way, real point of view. Because from the real point of view, soul never suffers. Soul is only a knower. Okay. Soul is only a
Seeing and
knower.
knowing.
So
Yeah, seeing and knowing.
yeah. So this is the this is like that only. Okay. So the exposition of
out of the 4 expositions, sir,
uh,
uh, in that way, 3 of the expositions, that is Pratmaniyog, Karnaniyog, and Charnaniyog, are totally belonging to the conventional perspective.
yeah, majorly. To call the karma as matter particle is what? Real or conventional point of view?
Convention.
No. To call the karma as matter particle is real point of view.
Real. Yeah.
So majorly the 3 expositions, as you said, Charnaniyog, Karnaniyog, and Pratmaniyog have statements more from the conventional point of view. Okay, but it is not that 100% is conventional point of view. There are some statements which are from real point of view. As for example, I gave that karma is matter particle. So this is a real point of view. Okay, so you have to like that. And in Dravyan Yoga, majorly it is from the real point of view. Majorly, not all, right? So in Dravyan Yoga also you will have some statement from the conventional point of view. Okay, so it is like that only. Okay, so conventional point of view establishes a cause and effect relationship between two substances, depicts qualities of one as of the other, whereas the real point of view only shows the intrinsic quality of a substance and does not mix up with other substances. Okay, the soul is suffering because of karma is a conventional statement, and to say that the soul and because the relationship is established between the impure sentiments of the soul and the modification of the karmas. Okay, so there is a relationship of cause and effect. The modification of the karmas are the cause, and the sufferings that the soul undergoes through impure sentiments is the effect. Okay, nimit namitik sambandh, karan karya sambandh, these are all conventional point of view, because there is somewhere mixing up of two substances. And when we say the soul and karmas are eternally separate entities, they never mix up, is the real point of view. Okay, yeah, ask.
So, but if we were to say that my life is such, or my time right now is such, is because of my past karmas, this would be real.
No, this won't be real. If you say that my life is such because of my impure sentiments, then I can say it is a real point of view. From one perspective, okay? But from another perspective, we also consider impure sentiments belonging to the matter. Okay? When we want to practice discriminative knowledge, we put that impure sentiments into the category of matter. Okay? And we say that soul is different from impure sentiments. So that is a different perspective. But from the real point of view, like we say that the sentiments belongs to the soul, because sentiments does not, my sentiments of like feelings of, grief, sorrow, these feelings the soul undergoes, not the matter, because matter is not a living being. So how can it suffer sorrow? Okay. So you see, when we want to practice science of discrimination between two substances, we say that whatever modifications are there in this substance is that belongs to that substance.
Soul.
Okay. So from that perspective, all the anger, pride, passions, alien disposition, all belongs to the soul, because we are discriminating between two substances. But when we want to discriminate internally in one substance only, right? Then we say that all the passions belong to the matter substance, and the soul is different from the passions. Okay. So here our objective is to discriminate between the nature, own nature, and the alien nature. Okay. So when we want to practice discriminative knowledge inside one substance, then we call the impure sentiments belonging to the matter. And that's how we come to the soul. Okay. But when we are discriminating between two substances, then we say what is happening in one substance is all that substance responsibility. So all kinds of feeling of passions, anger, pride, deceitfulness, and greed all belongs to the soul, and soul is the doer of that thing. Because this kind of sentiments does not arise in matter substances. This is only arising in soul substance. So soul is the doer, soul is responsible for that. Because now we want to differentiate between two substances. But when I want to differentiate between my own nature and the alien disposition, then I will say that alien disposition belongs to the matter substance, and I am different from these toxic emotions, impure sentiments, that way. So always believe that the discrimination is between what? Between two substances, then all the activities of this substance would be that substance only. And when we want to discriminate between the self and the alien disposition, then we will say that alien disposition does not belong to me. It is not part of my nature. It belongs to the matter substance. Pudgal dravya ka hai. Okay. So you have to understand what is your objective, and accordingly the statements will be interpreted. Okay. So both are practice of discriminative knowledge only, but when you are doing it between two substances, the perspective is different. And when you are doing internally among one substance only, then the interpretation is different. So this you must understand. So we have studied 4 definitions, and I hope all are clear. In the first definition, it was only said that true description is real point of view, and the imposed exposition is the conventional point of view. In the second definition, we said to express the quality of one substance as its own is real point of view, and to express it as of another substance is conventional point of view. In the third definition, we said that to express the modification of one substance as its own is real point of view, and to call it as another substance is the conventional point of view. In the fourth definition, we said that the conventional point of view mixes. It's a mixture. It's a mixture of the self and non-self substance. It's a mixture of quality of one substance with quality of another substance, and again it's a mixture of the cause and effect. Okay, but the real point of view does not mix any of the substances. It depicts the separateness of each substance. It depicts the separateness of each quality. It depicts the separateness of each modification. It depicts the separateness of the cause and effect. Okay. Karma is the cause and the effect is the impure sentiments. Okay. So impure sentiments is part of soul, and the karma is part of matter substance. So mixing both would be a conventional statement, and saying them separately is a real statement. Yeah, Himali.
So you gave 4 examples, but I missed one. You said I am human being. This is a mix of self and non-self.
Right.
I am fair, tall. This is mixing qualities. I am
Right.
talking. That is a mixing of cause and effect.
Right.
So what is the fourth one?
Mixing of modification.
So can you give me an example?
Like I would say that the chain is the modification of gold. Okay. So we say golden chain. Okay. Chain made of gold. So the modification is the chain. Okay. And to call it that it is made up of steel is the
of metal.
Yeah, is the difference in the modification. Okay. So one is gold chain, one is steel chain. Both are chain, right? But the chain of gold is different from the chain of steel. Okay. So this way it mixes up the same thing. Okay. So that is both are chains, but the gold chain is different and the steel chain is different. But if you mix it up, that this is a chain. Okay.
But then, sir, the two in if it's conventional, the two would also differ in real perspective. No, like why would? Oh, so we just say this is a chain. We don't say
Yes. Yeah.
gold or steel.
Yeah. Like that. So the like as I said in the third definition, we said the modification of one substance as that of another substance. Okay. So the modification of one substance. So chain was actually of gold, but I said that's chain of steel. Okay. So then it becomes a conventional statement. Okay.
Sir,
Sir,
So as I said, shirt was made of cotton. Now I said this is a blue shirt. Okay. So shirt of cotton was a real perspective because the shirt was made of cotton. But to call it as a blue shirt is a conventional statement. To call is as my birthday shirt is a conventional statement. Okay. So these are the mixtures that we have in
Sir,
terms
when
of
we say that the person is intelligent or he is knowledgeable,
Mhm.
then what we are referring to? We are
qualities.
quality.
Right.
The soul is knowledgeable,
Right.
so we
Real
can
point
call
of view.
it in real perspective.
Yeah, it is real perspective. Soul is knowledgeable is real perspective. Right.
sir, to say that the impure sentiments or impure modifications of the soul are souls itself. Ragdvesh are
It's a real point of view. It's a real point
impure.
of view. It's a real point of view, right? To
So
say
that should
it,
be believed, because
pardon?
the purpose of real point of view was to come to the ultimate knowledge and to have discriminative knowledge of the self.
Right.
So this
So
impure
that's why I have sent you a chart in the group, and I'm going to explain the four subdivisions of real point of view, the four subdivisions of conventional point of view. There you will explain this intricacy more clearly. Okay. So we are coming up to that topic. Let me finish this topic. Whatever we say, that is from a particular perspective that you understand. It is not absolute. Okay. So when I say that shirt is blue color, it is a particular perspective. I'm looking at the color and I'm saying this is a blue shirt. And when I say that this is a cotton shirt, I'm looking at the material through which it is made. So perspectives have changed. Okay. So in Jainism, you have to always understand the statement from which perspective it is being said. Okay. If it is said from a conventional point of view, you accept it, no? His shirt is blue. You accept it. Why can't we accept? You said the shirt is of cotton. So shirt is of cotton is also correct. The shirt is blue is also correct from the conventional point of view. Shirt is made of cotton is correct from the real point of view. Okay. So from which perspective it is being said, from that perspective, the statement is true. Okay. Like that. To say that the soul is suffering because of karma, okay, this is a conventional statement. Why? Because karmas are material substance and soul is the conscious substance. So how can material substance affect the soul? So this is the real perspective I'm talking about. But when I said that the soul is suffering from karma, it's a conventional statement. So it depends. A statement can be conventional also. A statement can be real also. It depends from what perspective it is being said. So when we understand the subdivisions of both, then matter will be more clear. That's why I have decided to include this topic along with this, because unless and until you will not have a clear picture of a real perspective and conventional perspective. So निश्चय नहीं में भी एक अशुद्ध निश्चय नहीं है, अशुद्ध निश्चय नहीं. So there are 4 निश्चय नहीं and there are 4 व्यवहार नहीं that we are going to talk. Okay. Let me finish this text book first. Now coming to the so after the 4 definitions, the question comes up, then why do Jain scripture propound the acceptance of both these perspectives? So why this both perspective? Why not only real one? The acceptance of both the perspective means that we should treat the exposition of the real perspective as truth is like that. Okay. And where conventional point of view is predominant, to regard it as not intrinsically true, but that the exposition is imposed or due to some sort of connection with other indifferently instrumental objects. Okay. So in Jainism, we accept both the perspective, okay, but not the same on the same scale. When we talk of real point of view, it is the truth as it is, okay. And when we say conventional statement, then it is not true, but it is being said from certain perspective, or it is being said with the perspective of the instrumental object. Okay, निमित्त की मुख्यता से कथन करते हैं. So all the statements made from the instrumental cause point of view are all conventional statement. Why you got knowledge, you know? Because of the scriptures. Because of the scriptures, you got the knowledge. Now, which statement is this one?
Can you repeat, sir?
We are studying here in this Parmagam Honors course through the scriptures, okay? Through these books. So you can say that I got the knowledge by reading the books, okay? So this is from which perspective I'm talking?
Conventional.
Conventional. Why conventional? You give me the logic.
Because of the books we're using, that's the material that we're using.
Yes. And the knowledge that is an attribute of the soul.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the attribute of the soul. Knowledge is the attribute of the soul. So knowledge is coming from the soul itself. It is not coming from the book. But we call it that I got the knowledge from this book. I got the knowledge from this course. I got the knowledge from this teacher. You know, these are all conventional statements. Okay. I come to your home and you say that feel at home. It's your home only. So I said, now transfer the documents in my name. Transfer the document of this flat in my name. You said, why? Because you just said, no, this is your home only. So you give me the documents in my name. So no, this is not like that. I was talking from the conventional point of view. That was a courtesy that, yeah, aapka hi ghar hai, but that ghar does not belong to me. So all the statements that we talk in the common parlance are all conventional statements. Okay. So real statement is very rare. So that's why only Dravyanyog is predominantly from the real point of view, because where we practice the science of discrimination. Okay. Bhed Vigyan. So when the objective is to do Bhed Vigyan, then we use real point of view. And when we want to just explain, divide, subdivide, then it is all conventional statement. Okay. So you will understand it more when I do the when I explain you the subdivisions of conventional point of view and the real point of view. We are coming to that. Okay. I don't mind taking the whole period about this because we can do the 10 Lakshan Dharm next week. Okay. But I want to explain this fully. If it is like this, why do scripture accept the conventional perspective at all? So when my experience, my self-realization is going to happen from the real point of view, then why you are talking about the conventional point of view? Okay. So you just understand it. A barbarian cannot be explained things except in his own language. A person from an alien land is called a barbarian. Okay. Asabhya, Malech. In Hindi it is called Malech. Malech को मलेच भाषा में समझाया जाता है. I'll give you one more example. When you talk to small kids, you know, you talk in their language. Automatically it comes to you, ये ना ऐसा है, ये ना, you talk like in their language, you know. to make them understand. So it is like that. A children is explained in their own language. Similarly, a barbarian cannot be explained things except in his own language. Likewise, spiritualism cannot be expounded without taking recourse to conventional exposition. Okay. Therefore, scriptures include conventional exposition as such. We may have to take recourse to the language of the barbarian to explain our ideas to him, but it is not desirable to become barbarian ourselves. So you use that language to explain it, but you don't become a barbarian yourself. That is the instruction. Likewise, conventional perspective, being an expounder of spiritualism, has a place in scriptures, but it is not to be followed or accepted as true. That's all. You don't accept it as true. It is being said from some certain perspective. Now you are traveling from Mumbai to Delhi, okay, by train. And on the way, Baroda station came, okay. And you say that Baroda station has come. Now this is conventional or real statement? You tell me. Baroda has come. I said Baroda has come.
It is not real
So what it is? You tell me. If it is not real, then what statement it is?
because
Conventional.
we have come to Baroda, the place, but Baroda has not come.
Baroda is stationed there itself. But the train has reached Baroda station.
Station.
But we say in common parlance that Baroda has come, Delhi has come, like that, you know. So these are all conventional statements.
Mhm.
So to make understand a kid, we talk in kids language. Similarly, to make understand a barbarian, we talk in his language. But we should not become barbarian ourselves. Likewise, conventional perspective, being an expounder of spiritualism, has a place in scriptures, but it is not to be followed or accepted as true. Now, I'll just add one more statement, that conventional perspective and real perspective both are part of right scriptural knowledge. Right scriptural knowledge, okay? It is not the false scriptural knowledge, it is the right scriptural knowledge. दोनों ही सम्यक श्रुत ज्ञान के अंश है. निश्चय नहीं और व्यवहार नहीं, दोनों ही सम्यक राइट श्रुत ज्ञान scriptural knowledge. Okay, right scriptural, though both are part of right scriptural knowledge. Although the conventional statement is untrue, असत्य है, लेकिन झूठा नहीं है. झूठा तो पाप होता है. Telling lies is a sin. So this is not a sin. This is a part of right scriptural knowledge. Conventional statement, conventional point of view is part of right scriptural knowledge. Although it is untrue, but it is not false. We cannot call it as a sin. It is not a lie, you know. It is untrue. Untrue means it is being said from a particular perspective to make you understand. We talk in barbarian language to make that barbarian person understand. Okay. In many a place, acharyas have given examples in scriptures. Okay. And those examples, you will feel that why acharya has to give examples like this. This is not good for an acharya to talk like that, you know. But acharyas have limitations. They want to make understand people who are householders. So they gave examples from their real life perspectives, how the householder would comprehend that, you know. So the main part is to make you understand. Whether I talk of conventional or real, doesn't matter. But I have to make you understand. So for making understanding, we give examples. All these are conventional point of view. So only the bottom line is the conventional statements will be there in Jainism, but it is not to be accepted as true. In Gujarati we call em nathi. ऐसा नहीं है. ठीक है, and in real point of view ऐसा ही है, एमज छे, okay, it is as it is. So this is the difference. Now coming to the last question of this chapter, okay, how does conventional perspective expound the real aspect? We cannot see with our eyes the length and breadth of the Ganges, Ganga Nadi, that rises in the Himalayas. It originates from Gangotri Glacier in Himalayas, okay? It originates from there and it travels the whole distance and mixes up with the with the sea in the Bay of Bengal, okay? So it's a complete journey right from the evolution from the Gangotri Glacier to the Bay of Bengal. The whole journey is the journey of the river Ganga. To know its length, breadth, and curves of flow, we have to take help of a map, okay? Because with our eyes, forget the length, we even cannot expound the width of the Ganga through our eyes. It is such a large river, okay? To know its length, breadth, and curves of flow, we have to take help of a map. See, here it rises, then it reaches Allahabad, then it reaches this place, then it reaches Bihar, then it comes to Bengal, and then it ends at a Bay of Bengal. Then it becomes an ocean. Now it's no more a river, it is an ocean. The Ganges of the map is not the real Ganges, okay? We can know details of the Ganges, but cannot quench our thirst with the help of the map. We shall have to go to the bank of the real Ganges to quench our thirst. Exposition from conventional point of view is like the Ganges of the map. We can understand the elements, we can understand the substance, but cannot have experience of the soul with its help, okay? So the conventional perspective, you can understand the elements, so that's why it is again a perspective only, okay? But we cannot have the experience of the soul with the help of the conventional perspective, okay? For knowing and experiencing the intrinsic soul, we have to take recourse to the subject of the real perspective, that is our pure soul. We have to take shelter in our pure soul to realize ourselves, to experience ourselves, okay? Thus, the conventional perspective is desirable only for purposes of knowing the different attributes of our soul. Hope this is clear, example is clear, and the principle is also clear. Everyone have understood, or you have any questions in your mind? Clear it now, because we will go further deep into this subject, okay? This is not the part of textbook, but I am making you understand to have clarity on the subject, because this is, we are going to use it every now and then, okay? And suddenly we'll find that you are understanding it in a better way with the subdivisions, okay? So now we move on to that chart. Can you share that chart on the screen? If you want, I can share the Hindi chart also, okay? So you can just compare it. Although Hindi names are written here in the English chart also, so you will not have that problem. But I will still share the Hindi chart also, because our endeavor is to understand the principles and not the language, okay? So whichever language you are comfortable, you can pick up. You can compare also both. That's why the questions I have given you in English and Hindi both. Because sometimes we understand from English better, sometimes we understand from Hindi better. So in any ways, you will not have a problem with that. 1 minute. I'll just share it. Mm. Yes, I've shared the Hindi chart also. Okay. So it is very clear. Spiritual's point of view. Adhyatam ke ne. Okay. So everywhere in the bracket, Hindi words are also given. Okay. But you forget Hindi, you forget English. You just remember the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are there. 4 from the conventional point of view and 5 to 8 from the real point of view. Our objective is to move from 1 to 8. And from when you reach number 8, that is the time you will realize yourself. Okay. So this will be a very practical class, and first one. Okay. So the broad divisions are 2 divisions of the spiritual's point of view. Adhyatam ke nahe, 2 divisions are there. The first one is real point of view, Nischay nahi, that we just now understood through 4 definitions. You remember those 4 definitions? I will share you the exact definitions that I read today. Huh? Okay, I'll share you that script also so that you will understand it better. And the second one is the conventional point of view, Vyavahar nahi. Okay. So this conventional point of view is again subdivided into 2. Okay. And that is existence conventional point of view and non-existent conventional point of view. Asadbhut Vyavahar nahi or Sadbhut Vyavahar nahi. 2 divisions, subdivisions of conventional point of view. Now again these both 2 are divided into 2. So ultimately we want to come to the last divisions, and that are 1, 2, 3, 4 for the conventional point of view. So the first 2 belongs to the non-existent conventional point of view. In that also we have number 1 as figurative non-existent conventional point of view. That is Upcharit Asadbhut Vyavahar nahi. Okay. So in the first definition, okay, figurative non-existent conventional point of view. This point of view talks about the substance that are separate from the soul and distant from the body too. Separate from the soul, separate from the body. Like my car, my house, my shop, my wife, my children, my parents. Okay. So these are all the substances and the living beings who are different from my soul, separate from my soul, and separate from my body. So these are distant things, quite far from my bodies. Okay. So we call it as our own. My house, my car. So these are conventional point of view. But in reality, the house does not belong to you. The house is house. You are saying that it is your ownership. Okay. So that is a conventional statement. Okay. You are the soul. So how the house can be of the soul? No relation. Soul is a conscious being and the house is a material being. Okay. So 2 different substances, but we still said this is my house. Okay. So by saying this perspective, at least we have left all the house of the universe. Only my house is mine. Okay. So this much, this first nay, or the first point of view has done this much of descriptive knowledge that you discard all the other houses of the universe and say your house as your own. Okay. So your ownership to all the houses of this world is now renounced. Okay. You are only owning your own house. My wife. So all the wives of the world are not mine. Only my wife is mine. So again, this is a kind of discriminative knowledge. Again, ये भेद विज्ञान कराया. बाकी सब घर को छोड़ दो, आपका ही घर आपका है. Okay. So instead of ownership of all the universe, you are just now what I could say, what word? You are now just limiting your house as your belonging. Okay. So इतना तो काम ये पहले वाले ने किया. Okay. So most of the statements from Pratman Yoga are from this point of view. Okay. Mahavir was born in Pavagadh. Mahavir was born to Queen Trishla and King Siddharth. All these statements are from the first level of conventional point of view. Upcharit, asadbhut, vyavhar, nay. Now, upcharit means conventional. Okay. I'll explain you. Upcharit, it is called Upcharit because family possessions are in reality not of the soul. Okay. But they are imposed on it. So that's why it is called Upcharit or figurative. Okay. Figurative. Why it is asadbhut, non-existential? Because this house, family does not exist in my soul. So these are called non-existent. Okay. Asadbhut. Okay. Upcharit, asadbhut. And why it is vyavhar? At the first level, calling the body as our own is itself an imposition. So it is a vyavhar. It is an upchar because it is an imposition. So that is a vyavhar. Now, so we have upcharit, asadbhut, vyavhar, all three explained. And why it is a nay? Because it is again a point of view. Because we are talking only from one point of view. Okay. So my house, my car, my shop, my parents, my wife, my children are all falling into this category. Okay. So this is the first one. Now the second one.
Sorry. Sir, you said even Mahavir was born in Pavagadh. That's also.
Because
That's.
place is different from Mahavir, no?
So, but he was born there.
He was born there. That is from the conventional point of view. And that conventional point of view is the first level conventional point of view. Okay. Soul is not born in place, no? Soul is soul only.
Okay.
So these are the spiritual points of view. Okay. So everywhere you have to connect it to the soul. You have to look at one perspective from the soul side, and the other perspective would be from the body and the association side. Okay. So this is the first one. Separate from soul, separate from body. If you want to write, you can write it down there. Separate from soul, separate from body. First one. The second one is literal, non-existent conventional point of view. So non-existent, you know, because this does not exist in the soul. So it is non-existent. Okay. And literal, why it is literal? Because it is anupcharit, informal. That's why it is called literal. Okay. So here there are two components. One is the material karma and the other is the body. Okay. So it is separate from the soul. That is right. It is separate from the soul. Material karma is also separate from the soul, and body is also from the separate soul. So to call the material karma and the body as mine is the second one. Literal, non-existent, conventional point of view. Anupcharit, asadbhut, vyavhar, nay. This point of view establishes oneness of the soul with the body and the material karma, dravya karma. Okay, material karma and the body. So this point of view, number 2, establishes oneness of the soul with body and material karma and calls them as one's own. Okay, so here I would say that I am suffering from disease. Okay, I am suffering from disease. So disease is where? It is in the body. And I am saying that I am suffering from disease. I am actually the soul. But I am saying that I am suffering from disease. So this is from the number 2. I am suffering because of monia karma. Number 2. Somya is inflicting pain on me. Which number? 1. Good. Good. Karma is inflicting pain on me. Number 2. Okay. Body is inflicting pain on me. Number 2. Okay. So this is much. We will have one full paper on this 8 nays. Okay. And that is total 90 marks we are having. One paper in the 6th sem. When we are going to teach you this? 6th sem. But I am teaching you right now in short just to make you understand the Nischay and Vyavhar correctly. Okay. So this is number one and number 2 conventional point of view. Now the number 3. So number 3 is not part of non-existent. It is existent conventional point of view. Sadbudh Vyavhar Nay. So this Sadbudh Vyavhar Nay is again of 2 types. One is Upcharit, another one is Anupcharit. So figurative, existent, conventional point of view. So can you tell me what is the difference between the first and the third? Both are figurative. Both are conventional point of view. So where is the difference? So the first one is non-existent and this one is the third one is the existent. Okay. So what are the 2 components of number 3? So first one is 100% impure modification. You write it down. 100% impure modification. Number 2, partial pure modification. Partial pure modification. So when we say partial, what percentage can you align to that? Soumya. So when I say partial, it could be anything between 0 to 99. Correct?
Yes, sir.
0 to 99 is still partial. 99 is still partial. 100 is complete. Okay. So there are 2 components in number 3. One is 100% impure modification. So this impure modification also exists in the soul. That's why it is called existent. Okay. But house, family were non-existent in our soul. Okay. So that were number 1. So this is existent. Okay. So the first component is 100% impure modification. And the number 2 is partial pure modification. So both these modification belongs to the soul. Okay. So that's why it is called existent. Okay. The word existent has come because both are part of the soul. Although it is conventional, it is not the real point of view. Okay. Just remember, this is all conventional point of view. We are making divisions of conventional point of view. Okay. So number 3.
So just a minute.
I'll give you an example of number 3. Okay. I am the doer of anger. I am the doer of pride. I am the doer of deceitfulness. I am the doer of greed. I am the doer of toxic emotions. All these are statements from number 3. Clear? I am the doer of Samyak Darshan. Which number? Why? Somya. Why?
Because I am understanding myself as the doer of doing Samyak Darshan.
That is true.
Doer,
But it is a part of 100% impure modification, or it is a partial pure modification?
partial pure modification.
Because this is the second component of number 3. Partial pure modification. So Keval Gyan is what? Partial or complete? Omniscience. Omniscience is 100% pure. Okay. So it will not be form part of number 3. Okay. Only partial. Okay. So I am the doer of right belief. I am the doer of right knowledge. I am the doer of right conduct. All these are number 3. Partial pure modification. Okay. So in 3 we have 2 components. Okay. Now coming to the 4th. So what this, again, coming back to the second one, I'm coming back to the second one. So the second one helped us to discriminate between the soul and the material karma and the body. Okay. So in the first one, we said that the things are different from the soul and the body. In the second one, we said that things are different from soul only, but not from the body. Okay. It is a part of the body. So I see through my eyes. So this is number 2. Okay. Now, while coming to the number 3, all kinds of attachments would be number 3. Okay. Because those are impure modifications. Okay. Aversions are all impure modifications and the partial pure modification. So this number 3 makes you realize that all the modifications, whatever you do, either pure or impure, you are responsible for that. You are the doer of that and you are responsible for that. Okay. So you cannot escape this responsibility. You say that why you are manifesting anger? Because of karma. So that will not do, because the karma is number 2. So number 3, you have to accept the responsibility that I am the doer of anger. I am the doer of pride. Okay. So responsibility is yours. So number 3 makes you aware of your responsibilities. Okay. So this is the number 3. Now moving on to the number 4. Literal existence, conventional point of view. So again, here there are 2. 100% pure modification and distinction of attributes. We have taken up 2 things. 100% pure modifications. Okay. Impure का तो चला गया 3 पे. Now we are into pure, 100% pure. Up to 99% pure modification, number 3. 100% pure modification, number 4. Okay. And gun bhed. Gun bhed means distinction of attributes. Okay. So this is knowledge attribute. This is perception attribute. This is faith attribute. This is conduct attribute. Okay. All these kinds of different kinds of attributes forms number 4, are part of 4. Distinction of attributes. Okay. So in 3 we have 2 components and in 4 we have 2 components. Now just a revision. Okay. Just a revision. First level of descriptive knowledge is my body, my house, my possessions are all number 1. My body, my karma, number 2. My impure modification, number 3. My partial pure modification, number 3. 100% pure modification, number 4. 100%, not 100%, distinction of attributes, number 4. Okay. So number 4, establishes a relationship where you are the doer of your 100% pure modification and you are the doer of different kinds of attributes that exist in you. Okay. So now you understand conventional point of view better. So in conventional point of view, there are 4 kinds. Okay. Sometimes we will say that karmas belongs to me. No problem. Number 2. Sometimes I would say that toxic emotions, I am the doer. No problem. Number 3. All are conventional statements. Okay. So I'll give you one example wherein I want to cover all the 4. Okay. So the woman is making rotis. Which number? 1. Okay. The hands of the woman are making rotis. Which number? 2.
Second.
Why? Why Himali 2?
So because hands
Mixture of
belongs to the
Body.
It's a part
hands
of
belong
body.
to the body.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a part of body. Hands are parts of body. So that's why it will fall into the category of number 2. Okay. The woman is only the doer of attachments of making rotis. Attachment of making rotis. Woman is the doer of making attachment of making rotis. Which number? Madhuji, which number?
3 because karma
Huh?
also is attached.
No karma. No, karma is in number 2. You forget karma. When you come to number 3, you forget karma.
It's attributes.
Because you are the doer of impure sentiments. No? If you are doer of the impure modification, then attachment is a impure modification. And the woman is only the doer of attachments of making rotis. Okay. So this attachment, because of attachment, it is number 3. Now number 4. The woman is only a knower of the above 3. Okay. So because of your omniscience knowledge, you are only a knower. So that is number 4. The knowledge attributes is you are the doer of that attribute. So you are only a knower of all the 3. So this is in one example, we have covered up all the 4. Okay. So woman is making rotis. Now I'll give you one more example. You are driving the car. So where is the weightage? Car. So number 1. You are driving the car with hands. Weightage is on hands. So number 2.
Number 2.
You are a doer of the attachments of driving car. Weightage is on attachment. So number 3. Okay. And you are a knower of the car being driven by yourself. So you are number 4. Okay. So I've given you 2 examples. Now coming on to the 5th one. Okay. So now the conventional point of view is over. Okay. First level of science of discrimination. I am different from my possessions. Okay. So my family, my car, all these forms number 1. Now you come closer.
Sir, I'm so sorry. Sir, when you're saying that I am the knower of car being driven by myself, so that's your point of view, no?
No, this is again a conventional point of view because you are a knower and again for the car being driven, you are driving the car that you are knowing only, right? So that is a conventional point of view. When you know or your soul, then it is a real point of view. Okay. Knower of all these 3. Okay. So knower is a quality. Is a quality of what? Is your quality. And you are doer of that quality. Okay. So this is number 4. What number 4 says? You are doer of 100% pure modification. You are a doer of different kinds of qualities. Okay. So since you are a doer of this knowledge, so you are number 4. Okay. So now we are coming on to the real point of view. The fifth one, impure. So first of all, real point of view are of two types. One is pure real point of view. Another is impure real point of view. Okay. So again, the pure real point of view are of three types, 6, 7, 8. And fifth one is the impure real point of view. So impure real point of view, here what you do know, you establish, you consider the soul and the impure modification. Okay. So impure modification was part of 3, right? Impure modification was part of 3. Now you combine it with soul and you say, I am angry. Understood? I am angry. So what would be from number 0.3? If I have you to say I am angry from number 3 point of view, then how you would say it?
I am the doer of anger.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. Okay. So this is the difference. I am angry. I am hungry. I am taking pride. I am what you call? I am
Proud.
I am jealous. I am proudy. I am proudy, right? I am jealousy, like that. So when you combine the soul and the impure modification, you arrive at impure real point of view. This is a real point of view, but we call it as impure because you are yourself associating with impure modifications. Okay. You are becoming a doer of impure modification. In fact, you are yourself impure modification. I am angry. Okay, like that. I am proudy, like that. Okay. So this is a combination of 3 and 5. Okay. 3 is the 100% impure modification, and 5th is you are combining it with soul, making it one with soul. So the combination number is 35. Next is 3 and 6. How come? Partial pure real point of view. Now, can anyone explain how 6 has come up? Number 6 has come up. Number 6 has come up from the point number 3. Okay. The second component was 0 to 99%. Okay. Partial pure modification. Now that pure modification, partial pure modification and soul are being considered as one. Okay. Then it becomes 36. Okay.
I can't understand anything.
You understood the sixth one? So in 3, we had 2 components. So one got mixed with 5th one, and the second one will got mixed up with the 6th one. Okay. So 35, 36. 3 and 6 combination becomes 36. So the second part, partial pure modification mixes with the soul. Okay. And that is called, this point of view establishes oneness of the substance with its partial pure modification. Okay. So this is 36. So this is the 6th one, partial pure real point of view. Okay. Because soul is manifesting like this. So I am samyak drashti. Okay. So I am samyak drashti would be 6. And I am the doer of samyak darshan 3. Understood? Soumya, you are clear? Clear? I am samyak drashti. I am elak. I am shulak. I am arjika. Right? So all these belongs to number 6. They are enlightened ones. Okay? But this is still partial pure real point of view. Okay? One more thing. The weightage is increasing gradually. 1, when we move to 2, the 1 was Vyavhar. When we move to 3, second was Vyavhar. When we move to 4, the third was Vyavhar. When we move to 5th, fourth was Vyavhar. When we move to 6th, 5th is Vyavhar. Okay. So as we move further, the previous one becomes a conventional point of view. Okay. So we are up to now 6. Now the 7th one. Okay. Our time is over. 10:30 it is almost. But we'll start it 5 minutes late. So I'll just finish the last 2 and then we will take it up in the next class. Okay. So the number 4 had 2 components, 100% pure modification and distinction of attributes. Okay. So the first one, 100% pure modification, is number 7. So 47 and 48, 2 combinations coming up. 47, this point of view establishes oneness of the soul with its completely pure modification. Okay. This point of view establishes oneness of the soul with its completely pure modifications. Okay. So it will be like this. मैं केवल ज्ञानी. Okay. कार्य परमात्मा. सिद्ध. सिद्ध Bhagwan is which number? Number 7. Okay. Because it is 100%. The modification is 100% manifested. Okay. Pure. It has purely manifested 100% of its modification. So Siddh Paramatma is number 7. Okay. So this point of view establishes oneness of the soul with its completely pure modification, like omniscience in Aryant state, Siddh state. Okay. Like that. मैं केवली, मैं कार्य परमात्मा, all these are number 7. So 4 has 2 components. 1 we have mixed with 7. So it has become 47. Now the last one, number 8.
So what is मैं कार्य परमात्मा?
मैं कार्य परमात्मा means my work is done. I have manifested 100% pure modification. So you are Paramatma, but Karya Paramatma. Soul is Karan Paramatma and Aryant is Karya Paramatma. Okay. So you have become God, but in modification. Okay. So by nature we are all gods. But when you actually manifest Godship in your modification, that is number 7. That is the Aryant state. That is the Kevli. Okay. So these are all number 7. Now moving on to 8, the second component of number 4 was distinction of attributes. Now you mix up with soul and all the distinctions evaporates. Okay. So now you are only a possessor of indivisible soul. Okay. There are infinite qualities in that, but all these infinite qualities are now part of soul. Okay. So that is number 8. So you see, gradually we move from 1 number to 8 number. Okay. So there are some explanations left and I will give you some homework. Some examples as homework. You have to identify which number is which one. I'll just practice 2, 3 ones. Okay. 1 minute. Yeah. So you have to tell me number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
So, can you give an example for number 8? I can't figure
I'm
out the
giving examples. Like I say, all souls are like Siddhas. Which number? Say, Madhuji. Which number? So now the where the weightage is all souls. Souls. So weightage is on the soul. All souls are like Siddh Bhagwan. So weightage is on the soul. Which number?
8.
8. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, I am very fond of my brother. I like my brother very much. The weightage is on like. Which number, Soumya?
The 3,
3. Very good. Why?
because the weightage is on
Attachments.
like.
Liking.
Attachment.
Liking is an attachment. Okay.
Liking. Yes.
Liking is an attachment. Okay. I love my sister. Okay. Weightage is on my sister. Now tell me, Soumya, which number?
4.
My sister. Number 1.
1.
My sister. Okay. Weightage is on my sister, not on the liking part. Okay. So same example can be number 4 also, can be number 3 also, and can be number 1 also. It depends where is the weightage. Okay. So if I say that I like my brother and the weightage is on brother, then it is number 1. And if the weightage is on the liking, then it is number 3. So it is so important to understand from where the weightage is. Okay. So now I am Samyak Drashti. Which number? Madhuji.
I am
Which number? I am Samyak Drashti. I am a right believer.
7.
Huh?
7.
Who says this?
6, sir.
6, I think. 6.
6. Yeah, correct. Maltiji has said correct. 6. Okay. I am angry.
3rd.
Wrong.
5.
No,
5.
not
I
3rd.
am doer of anger. Right.
Oh.
Number 3. Okay. I have knowledge. Pratibhaji, which number?
Number 6. No, that's partials. Number 7, because of complete knowledge.
No, I
It's
am not saying. I have knowledge. My weightage is on the knowledge. I have knowledge.
Is it 5th?
No.
Is it 5th, sir?
No.
Number 6, partial, would that be? Because
No.
knowledge is not complete.
4.
No. I have knowledge. I possess knowledge. Weightage is on knowledge. Knowledge is part number 4.
4. That's what I'm saying. 4.
4 is correct.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't get it, but 4 is correct. Okay.
Okay.
Bahubali Bhagwan, Keval Gyani. Bahubali Bhagwan is omniscience. Which number?
7.
Very good.
7, yeah.
Very good.
It's
Very good.
the-
Okay. Then I am seeing my reflection on the mirror. Which number? Mirror. Weightage is on mirror. I am seeing my reflection in the mirror. Which number?
Pass.
Madhuji, which number? Pratibhaji?
I think it's number 2.
Mirror. Weightage
It's
is on the mirror is
that's the
an external
material.
possession, is an external
So
possession.
1.
Oh, that will be
One.
number 1.
Yes,
Yeah,
one,
with the
one.
house and car
Yeah,
and all that.
correct. The ignorant one enjoys the 5 sensory objects. So 5 sensory objects is the weightage. Which number? Pratibhaji?
Could it be 3rd, sir? Sorry, sir.
Which one? 5 sensory objects. I am
Three.
no sensory objects are external possession. Number 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
3 objects. So
But isn't that the part of the body, sensory objects?
No, sensory objects are different from body. Sense are part of body.
Yes.
I am
okay.
enjoying the sensory objects through my senses. If my weightage is on the senses, then it will be number 2. Okay.
Oh.
I am seeing a moving through my eyes. Eyes is the weightage. Then which number?
First,
No, eyes.
bodily possessions.
That's the body, yeah. Part
So
of
number
body.
2. Body is number 2.
Isn't it possession? No.
I said weightage. Where is the weightage? That all depends, no? So you have to just ascertain the weightage. Unless and until I don't give you the weightage, you cannot answer, or you can answer it 2 ways. Okay. So if you consider that liking, you will say that it is number 3. If you consider my brother, then brother is number 1. Okay. So both you can answer. Where the perspectives are not given, you should answer both. And where the weightage is already mentioned, like if I highlight that particular word, okay, then you have to answer accordingly. So I'll give you some of the questions as a homework for practice, okay? And I will underline the weightage. And depending on that, you have to answer it. So you keep the answers ready with you, and then we will discuss in the next class, and then we will move on to the next chapter. So still I have to say something on this 8 nays, okay, 4 Vyavar and 4 Nischay, and then we will move on to the next topic, okay. So next class will be a full class again, and we will cover both the topics, the concluding part of this one and the next topic, and that will be the end of the semester, okay.
Sir, excuse me. You were telling about some table you will give us. Which is that table? I think it'll be easier to follow that.
I already, this is the
This
table.
one.
This
Oh,
one
this
is the
one is.
table,
Oh,
and I
oh,
also send you the Hindi version also. So
okay.
you just make it more clear with the Hindi version also, okay. And you write everywhere, you take out a printout of this chart, and below this one, below each nay, you write which are the components, okay. So first one, what would be the component? Second one, what would be the component? Third one would be the component. Fourth one, what would be the component? Like that.
Have you got the, excuse me, so have you got the components written or something so that it becomes a little more easier?
So you can listen to this class again, and I have mentioned in the class the components, and you should have written it while you were
Yeah,
listening
I
to the
wrote
class.
some, sir.
So you can, if you have any doubts, you can contact me personally. I will solve it, okay? Otherwise, you try it, and the examples I will give, that also you can practice, and from there also you will be able to realize which one belonging to which number, okay? Okay. So now with this subdivisions, now we are more clear which is a conventional statement and which is a real statement, okay? So if I say I am angry, it's still a real point of view, but the fifth one, okay? So now you know the demarcations more clearly, okay? ठीक है. I've taken up some more minutes, 10 minutes more, 8 minutes more exactly. But anyway, we have completed this topic. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है. 9 बार नौकर मित्र